It's Tyler Boyer. This is my co-host, Ty Bean, Joe Germani. This is Bet with the Boys. It's a little different today. I am in good old Hawaii right now. So I'm not with the boys, but they're there holding it down, holding down the fort. And but hey, we couldn't stop. We still got to do the show. So what's going on, guys? How's everything going in Delaware?
It's pretty cold. Nothing like Hawaii. It's very cold. It's 37 outside. Feels like a brick outside.
It's 85 and sunny here. About to go on a hike. Living.
Ty gets to go on a hike in the middle of his Bet with the Boys. Bet with the Boys show. Here we are.
We're doing it live.
We are doing it live.
But real quick, let's talk about how we did last week. I don't have the exact numbers with me. I did it this morning, but I didn't bring it. But I do know that last week, in last place, my man Ty Bean did not have the best week of his season with 5 points. I finished at 6, going 50% for the week. And my man Joe winning or tying for first 4 straight weeks.
Let the people know.
How about that? Joe had 7 points. He's now at 44 points for the year. 2 points behind me and Ty. Both are at 46. So Joe's making his comeback. He's trying to do a little something.
Been hot.
All right, so let's get right into the show. I believe the first segment we're doing is line pushers. I'm going to go ahead and let my man Joe take this one.
All right, so this week in line pushers, I saw 3 games that were that finished. Honestly, this is probably one of the crazier weeks that we've had in line pushers. The first game that we've got is the Titans and the Ravens. The score in this game was 23-13 with 45 seconds left. The spread, mind you guys, is the Titans minus 3.5. So right now they're covering. But Joe Flacco drives all the way down the field.
And the over-under was 42.5.
And the over-under was 42.5. He's driving down all the way down the field. He scores with 45 seconds left on the clock for garbage time touchdown.
Killed my card.
Killed a couple cards, right? So that was the first game for this. So they didn't cover by a half a point. I heard of some people getting some bad beats. It was the worst.
Next game, over in that one.
What'd you say?
Killed the over. It went over and killed the Titans spread too.
Very true. With 45 seconds left, but that's not the worst. That's not the worst line pusher of the week. The next one we got is the Raiders and the Dolphins. The spread in this game was 3.5. And the Raiders were winning 27-17 with 2 minutes left. And Jay Cutler decides he wants to drive down the field and he wants to blow the spread. So he scores with 2 minutes left. Puts the final score at 27-24. So the Raiders don't cover and the Dolphins cover by a half a point. The last game that we got here, which honestly probably was the worst blown over-under spread game. This was the Lions versus the Packers. The over-under in this game was 43.5. With I want to say a minute left. The score we have is 30-10 Lions. The Lions driving down the field, trying to get this last-second touchdown. And in the last play of the game, when the game looks like it's finally going to be over and the score is going to go under, he throws the ball to the end zone. But the pass is incomplete, so it looks like the game's over. However, there was a flag on the field, defensive pass interference, so they give him one more untimed down, which for some reason they decided, even in a meaningless game, they give him an untimed down. And what does Brett Hundley do? He scores a touchdown. The final score 30-17, pushing the game over with an untimed down. So I feel bad for you if you had the under in this game. That's a really bad beat.
Yeah, that's rough. Crazy bad. All play fine. It's what they're doing now. I'll give them that one. But so does that mean it's time to get into week 10 of the NFL?
Okay, first we got the Vikings minus 1.5 at the Redskins. The over-under in this game is 42.5. Tyler, sense of Hawaii, what you feeling?
In Hawaii, everyone here is feeling the Skins. It's a big win for the Skins. They're coming off a game in Seattle. My man Tyson right here is a big Seattle fan. He's very upset about the game last week. But, Skins, though, are coming off a big win. They're playing for this season. Minnesota, their defense is very good. But I think it's on anyone. I think we're going to put up anywhere from 17 to 24. And our defense is playing lights out. Josh Norman's best cornerback in football. I'll say it every week until he proves me otherwise. Our pass rush, I think if we get pressure on Keenum, we're going to be all right. And I think the Vikings are going to struggle to score points. And so I love the Skins getting a 1.5 at home here.
I think that's a good pick. Personally, though, I'm going to have to go with the Vikings minus 1.5 here. I think that the Redskins are coming off what seems to be like their biggest win of the season so far. Real good feel-good win. Played great defense in Seattle last week. Kind of, I guess, the upset of the week. I guess beating the Seahawks, especially with the Seahawks being 7.5-point favorites. But in this one, I kind of like the Vikings because I think the Redskins team has been kind of banged up. I think they're coming to this game, and I think that they struggle against the run. Honestly, I think
only 12 guys on the injury report this week instead of 21, so we got that going.
It's a lot better. So they've got something. They've got that going for them. But that doesn't make me feel confident enough to take this Redskins team because the Vikings team's got a decent running game now. We've seen Jarrett McKinnon and Latavius Murray really fill that role and establish that.
Scared.
What'd you say?
I ain't scared. Sit Jarrett McKinnon this week. It's not a good matchup.
I don't know. I think it's a great matchup, honestly. And then you got Case Keenum, who's playing at a good level. You got Stephon Diggs, I think, is going to be playing this week. So they haven't had him in a couple of weeks, especially coming off the bye. They're going to need him. So you got Thielen and all these other guys. And the best part of this team, the reason I'm taking the Vikings -1.5 here is because I think that this Vikings defense can really hold up the Redskins and Kirk Cousins. I think Kirk Cousins he played well last week, but he can only score 17 points on that Seattle defense, and he kind of struggled. And I think this Vikings defense is going to come in here with something to prove. They're in this game fighting for their division. This is a big game for them, bigger than the Redskins, I think. So I'm taking the Vikings -1.5.
Yeah, I'm with Joe on this one. I like the Vikings -1.5. The Redskins really just pulled something out of their, out of their arse. Out of their arse last week with Kirk Cousins deciding he wants to start winning the league now and start being late drives. And then Josh Johnson made a miracle. But outside of that, I saw nothing really exciting in the Redskins offense.
It's a rental car. Who cares, right?
Anything. I just see the Vikings being able to shut them down, and Kirk's not going to be able to pass much on this Vikings defense. So I'm thinking the Vikings -1.5.
Yeah, I'm with them. I think another good pick for this one is the under at 42.5. It seems like it's a little low, especially for these teams, but I feel like this might be a defensive-heavy team. The Vikings don't give up a lot of points on defense, especially I think they're one of the top 5 rated defenses against fantasy quarterbacks, which means that they force turnovers, they force picks, and they also shut down quarterbacks. So
I know. This game just kind of feels similar to the Eagles-Vikings game last season. The Vikings are just red hot. Everyone thinks the Vikings are one of the top teams in the class, and they just come out and get stumped on the road. And I can just see the Vikings just coming back to earth again like they did last year. And a non-bias, and I know it's hard for you guys to think that, but I really think this is a good game for the Skins. I think the Skins are gonna do their thing.
Yeah, honestly, after the Cowboys-Redskins game, I'm done betting on the Redskins. Can't do it anymore. Just bad voodoo. You don't know what you're going to get from them, so I can't do it. So I'm going with the Vikings. But next we got up here is we got the Bears -5.5 at home. Packers. Over on this one, under on this one is 38.
I'm in love with the Bears. Every week, the Bears when they play at home, they play a lot of Cam Newton only scored 3 points against the Bears a couple weeks ago. The Packers have a lot of people injured, and then once Brett Hundley comes in, it looks like they're just tanking for the year.
Good.
Outside of Aaron Rodgers, you really can't look at the Packers and see any.
It's clear in the back. I think we're good.
That's why I think the Packers just got to tank this year, try and get the best pick, try and make the team as best possible. So I like the Bears -5.5, and I really think they're going to be able to win by at least a touchdown.
Yeah, same here. I like the Bears -5.5. I think the time not really outside of Aaron Rodgers. At the beginning of this year, we kind of thought that we saw Jordy Nelson, who was going to finish, looked like he was going to finish maybe 1 or 2 in touchdowns, top 5 in receiving yards, just like he did last year. But without Aaron Rodgers, his impact has become severely limited. You've seen a couple 4 catch games, 5 catch games in the past 2 games. Without Aaron Rodgers, his productivity is way down. His offense just looks like they don't have a lot of life without him. So I don't know. I like the Bears here, and the Bears have been playing really well, especially at home. They play their best defense at home. Saw what happened, like Ty said, against the Panthers. They play defense at home. Mitchell Trubisky, all he needs to do is manage this game. He won by more than 5.5. So I like the Bears on that.
Oh, yeah, I'm hopping on board with the Bears bandwagon. The Packers have looked awful since Rodgers has been injured. Show no signs on offense. Defensively, they're still a below-average defensive team. Aaron Rodgers just kept winning games. So I'm going to go with the Bears, 5.5 here. The defense is lights out, and I like it.
So the next game we got is the Steelers at the Colts. The Steelers are -10.5 points.
We can trade off on the backpack. But you're
I'm feeling the over 43.5.
I don't need it.
I like the Steelers minus 10.5.
I got some stuff in here too.
Being minus 10.5, like favorites on the road, that's a difficult spread to cover, especially like against this Colts team who everybody has kind of written off as an awful team, but they still beat the Texans last week, so they have some talent on their team. And besides, the Steelers defense, I think, gives up points sometimes. I like the over 43.5 here because you know that the Steelers are going to be able to score points. I'm pretty sure the Colts they've given up like 300 yards and like at least 3 touchdowns to like every opposing quarterback except for like CJ Beathard and like
That's a good spot right there.
a lot of points, especially. It doesn't really matter if they win. I like the over 43.5. I think the spread's just a little too low.
I kind of like the under 43.5 in this one. I just think the Steelers, their defense is lights out. They're ranked number 1 against passing against, so it's going to be a tough day for Brissett and T.Y. Hilton. And the Steelers, their offense, they can obviously light up some points. They're going to try and they said they're going to try a lot more of their splash plays this week. You'd expect to see Martavis Bryant back in the lineup. But I just think the Colts defense is all right. I don't think the Colts are going to score very many points. I don't see the Steelers putting up more than 30-something. I don't see the Colts getting double digits. So I'm going to go with under this one, but I like the Steelers as well.
I like the Steelers, minus 10.5 here. You guys make some good points about them not being able to score, but the Steelers are coming off a bye, and they've been playing lights out defense, and I just think Brissett is prone to throwing like a pick or two to the Steelers defense. Not to mention Vontae Davis for the Colts, the best corner, went out for the year, and then they cut him. Very weird, bizarre events. So that just makes me feel like the Colts really don't know what's going on. And I just see a blowout here with the Steelers offense, because they've just the past couple of weeks they've really been able to turn it on. And I think this is when the fan figures it out on the road, being able to throw the ball. He's going to get a couple touchdowns. So I think the Steelers might.
Okay. Next up, we've got Jaguars minus 4.5 at home against the Chargers. Over and under 40.5. That's Hawaii. What you think about it?
You said Jags, Chargers, 43.5?
40.5. Jags minus
4.5. It's a tough one. I really don't know. I think I'm going to go with the Jags on this one. Something just tells me the Jags have been playing hot. They're 5-3 right now. They're trying to get the playoffs. They got a game lead. And I just think their defense is just dominant. And Leonard Fournette's supposedly going to play again first time in 2 weeks. They haven't really been struggling without him, but it will only help them with him back. So I like the Jags minus 4.5 here. Was it 4.5 or 3.5?
4.5.
4.5. Yeah, give me the Jags minus 4.5.
Personally, in this one, I kind of like the Chargers plus 4.5. I think that the Chargers, honestly, people are kind of.
Hey, you guys ready to go back? You guys are done?
They have the best situation to beat the Jaguars. I think the Jaguars really, a lot of teams try to throw the ball too much on the Jaguars defense, and that's really not the best way to beat the defense. I think they're like 1 or 2 in passing defense. That's not how you build up. But the Chargers do have is they have Melvin Gordon. I think if they can establish a run game early, really get Melvin Gordon involved, I think that we've seen with this Jaguars team, they kind of play very good for a little while. At points, they can let up points to teams. Like the Jets, when they play the Jets, they let up like 20 points against the Jets on the road. Even though they're playing at home here, I think Philip Rivers is doing enough to get it done. I think the Jaguars are 3 in this one. Have a close game.
Can I change my pick?
Huh?
Can I change my pick?
Can you change your pick? I guess if you want.
Give me the under.
You like the under 40.5? All right, well,
give me the under.
that down. I'll make sure you keep track of your picks over there.
I'll try. I don't know, man. I'm on vacation.
That when the boys doesn't stop.
Oh, no. We'll do it live.
All right, Ty, what you thinking?
I like the Chargers plus 4.5 here. The Jaguars offense really hasn't improved me. They put points, especially in the 4.5. And also, there's a couple things. Phil Rivers plays his best football against San Diego. Against Jacksonville. He's gone for 19 touchdown passes, 4 interceptions in his career against them, including 9 touchdown passes and 3 interceptions the last 3 games. So that really makes me believe that Phil Rivers is going to have a big game here. And so I'm going to go with the Jaguars. I mean, not the Jaguars, the Chargers in 4.5.
Definitely a good pick for sure. Next game we got here is we have the Jets minus 2.5 at the Buccaneers. Over on this one is 41.5. What you guys feel?
I'm horrible at Gangrene. There's nothing that can get me off this Jets bandwagon right now, and especially with the Buccaneers not having Jameis Winston out being for a couple of weeks. They're looking like they're tanking this year too with the Packers. So it looks like Jets every year. Really good defense. They had a bad game against the Bills, and I think they can rebound here with a good win against the Bills.
You watch football? You want to make a pick for me? Like the Jets or the Bucks? Jets or the Bucks? Who you feeling?
Whoever wins.
Oh,
It's a bad. Thomas a bad pick. I don't like that.
yeah. I'm gonna go with the Jets. After that, JTS, Gang, Robbie Anderson, fight for the cherry and the white. Let's go.
Robbie Anderson looking like a top 10 wide receiver this year.
He is. That was. I don't know if you guys watched that Thursday night game. That was a beautiful catch he had against Buffalo. It was darn good. Yeah, I like
Chad John.
Yeah, I like the Jets minus 2.5 here, but I think the pick for me is going to be the over 41.5. What I think in this game is even without Jameis Winston and they have no Mike Evans, I think the spread is still a little bit too low. I think the Jets can put up some points, as we've seen on a lot of teams. And this Buccaneers defense, not great at all. So I think they're going to put up the majority of the points in the spread to put it over. But I don't think the Buccaneers are just going to roll over, especially losing for a couple of weeks and having Mike Evans being suspended. Their backup quarterback, Ryan Patrick, longtime Jet, going up against it. I think he knows enough about this Jets team, and he hopefully has enough motivation to put up some points against this team. So I think this game is going to go over 41.5. I think the total's a little too low, especially with two teams with not great defenses. So that's my pick.
I'm going to fail.
We got up here is we have the Titans minus 4.5 against the Bengals. The over-under in this one is 40.5. How's everybody feel?
There's just something telling me this week that the Bengals are just going to be able to pull something out and be able to cover. They thought the Titans last week, they didn't look good. Mariota doesn't look fully healthy like the way he does. And the Titans' defense is just horrific this year. Anybody can score. Your mother can score, anybody. Whoever you want, score on that defense. So that makes me believe in A.J. Green not getting suspended. So that makes me really believe the Bengals, after what he did, he's approved that job this week, so that he's for the team. So that makes me believe the Bengals here, and the good 4.5 against the Titans, and they couldn't cover against the Ravens last week. Late touchdowns. So that just makes me believe if the Bengals don't win, they're going to be able to come back late and just cover the spread.
Yeah, I'm with Ryan. I'm going to take the Bengals plus 4.5. I think the spread should have been a little bit lower, especially the Titans and the way they played. They're very inconsistent. We really don't know who's going to get in this Titans team because without Mariota being healthy, it's all a coin flip. They have their running game, which is basically the strongest part of their offense at this point. Mariota being hurt, but the Bengals have a good run defense. So I think that they're going to be able to put up some. They're not going to be able to put up a lot of yards. I think that this Bengals team coming off a bad week at Jacksonville, they're also very hot and cold. So in this one, I think that we got two teams who play inconsistent, but they're both on the same level talent-wise, I would say. So I'm going to take the Bengals minus plus 4.5 here. It just feels like the better pick, especially with the Bengals offense having more upside than the Titans offense, especially against a bad Titans defense, like Ty was saying. This defense is not good. They give up a lot of points to everybody. Even with Joe Flacco being hurt, like the Ravens offense, which was absolutely awful at times, they still gave up a lot of points to them cover that Bengals.
See, I'm not on the Bengals wagon. I think the Bengals are a pretty bad team. But as you guys were saying, the Titans, they do give up points. Give up points against everyone. And the spread is at 40.5, you said?
Yep.
Yeah, I like the over here in this one. I think the Titans are going to get theirs. I think they're probably going to win the game. It might be within a field goal, so that the 4.5 is probably a good pick. But I think the over is definitely the safest play here.
I like it. Yeah, honestly, I think Ty's definitely right. Like, you got two teams here who have that potential to score with big playability, especially on both sides of the ball. So 40.5 does seem a little bit too low. So I think that's a good pick. So the next, actually, you know what? Let's take a break. Let's transition over into our football segment. Saturdays are for college football. where Saturdays are for the boys and college football. Sunday time and time.
So last week, guys, we went 3-3 for the first time this year.
Oh, yeah.
And we're just going to keep it going this week. I think we
Lost the Arizona game, didn't we?
2 for 3. I went 2 for 3. Pretty much all you know.
Don't let the facts get in the way of a good story.
Yeah, exactly. So here I got a couple games for you guys. I got UConn playing University of Central Florida. University of Central Florida has been dominant this year. But UConn's getting 40.5 points.
That's a lot of points.
That's a lot of points. You take that every day. You know, I just don't think that UCF, they've been scoring a lot this year. I just don't think they're going to be able to keep it up. And then another one, I like the Tulane Green Waves playing against East Carolina University. East Carolina has been absolutely horrific this year. And I'm saying,
I stole my pick.
hop on the Green Wave.
That's my pick.
I'm talking
Can't have
about.
the same pick, guys. You know, everyone knows the rules. Can't have the same pick.
And then
I don't have any other games in front of me. That's my pick.
Miami getting +3 over Notre Dame. I like Miami. I don't like Notre Dame. So that's pretty much all I got there. And they're getting points.
Getting 3.
Let's go you.
Yeah,
Give me Penn State over Rutgers.
Penn State over
I don't know
Rutgers.
what it's at. I don't know what it's at, but give me it.
Hold on. Let me check my stats over here. Let's see if this spread's looking. We got Penn State -31. Ty, you still like it? Over under
Oh, yeah, give me it
54.
all day. If it goes to 51, give me Rutgers. But other than that, give me Penn State.
Penn State. So he likes Penn State -31.5. Personally, here I don't know. I think Penn State. I think they'll bounce back. As you guys might remember from last week, Ty picks. Ty took the Baylor Kansas over. Kansas is really bad. It looks like they couldn't score any points. After the weirdest game of the year, I took Michigan State getting 9.5 points against Penn State. I don't know if you guys followed. They had a huge rain delay. The game started at 12, got delayed until 4 o'clock. Michigan State ends up winning the game and covering. So,
I also have another one for you guys. Oh, looks like Ty left us. You know, he's in Hawaii, probably went on a hill or something. He got lost. Now me and Joe are just going to take over here. Another pick we also like is Georgia Tech is getting 3 points against Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech is just a bad team. Just don't believe in them. Josh Jackson's an awful quarterback. Shout out my boy Chet, the only cool person that went to Virginia Tech. But outside of that, don't like anybody there.
shout out Chet.
So let's go Hornets, Yellow Jackets.
Sorry, guys. I ran into a tree. Dropped my phone. That's all good, though.
Oh, good. My pick this week is I am actually going to take Mississippi State +13 at home against the Alabama Crimson Tide. I think that Alabama sometimes with these lower spreads, what happens is they don't cover them. So then they have these huge spreads, they can cover them, but sometimes, like I think, if any of you guys remember, they played Texas A&M 2 or 3 weeks ago. Spread was like, didn't you take them that week? It was a spread like 12.5, 13 or something like that, and they only won by like 8 points. They played kind of a close game. I think that Mississippi State here, we're looking at a team who's ranked, who's played well, especially playing at home. I don't think they're going to get blown out by Alabama. So +13 here is a good pick. But I like that pick. But I think I like a little bit more is Arizona -21 against Oregon State. You got an Oregon State team who's 1-8, very bad, and they've gotten blown out by conference opponents. They got blown out by Washington. They got blown out by another team too. I'm kind of forgetting it right now. You got Arizona coming off a tough loss at USC. I think they bounce back. Khalil Tate is going to put up some points. I don't know why they spread to 21. It seems a little low for me, but I'm also going to take Arizona. So I'll give you 2 for 1 this week. All right. So after that, let's jump right back into our picks. The next pick we got, the next game we are looking at here is we got the Saints -2.5 on the road against the Bills. Got the over-under in this one at 46.5. You guys like?
I'll let you guys rock out.
I'm all on this Bills Mafia. Just keep it rolling. The Bills have just been playing lights out this year. They had a bad loss against the Jets last week. Don't let that get to you.
They ran into gangrene. What are you going to –
That's what he said.
It's a tough division.
The Jets have been really tough this year. So I like the Bills. You're getting 2.5 here. I think Kelvin Benjamin plays for the first time. So they're going to have a very nice trio. And Charles Clay is coming back, so that makes me really like the Bills. I think Jordan Poyer is coming back to full health for the Bills. And I just think the Saints, they've been really hot, and they're just due for a bad game. The defense is just going to let up one game. So that's why I'm taking the Bills here, getting 2.5. The Bills would probably be in the lead for the division right now if they beat Falcons on the goal line. So that makes me believe the Bills. So the Bills get 2.5.
Yeah, I like what Tom brought up a lot of good points. The Bills have been playing very well, and the best part about the Bills that they've been doing is they've been playing extremely well at home. They are currently undefeated at home right now, haven't lost a game. So they've been struggling on the road, but they've been playing well at home. So plus 2.5 is a good pick here. Personally, though, I think what I'm going to take is the over at 46.5 in this game. I think that the Saints have a lot of plays where they just score a lot of points. Honestly, might sound stupid, but I think that the Saints' offense is dynamic enough, especially against the Bills team who plays tough at home. But I think the Bills, what we've seen, especially against not even the best teams, is the Bills will give up points at home. They only beat if you guys remember, they only beat the Bucs by 3 points at home a couple weeks ago, and that was against a bad Buccaneers team. So they let up some points, and they barely covered. I don't think they covered that spread. I think they blew it. So I'm going to take the over 46.5. I just feel like there's going to be a lot of points scored in this game. This Bills defense plays well at home, but against this Saints team, I think they're going to put up some points. So I'm taking the over 46.5.
I like the over as well, but I think the Saints defense is too solid to really just assume that they're the same old team as they've been in years past. Marshawn Lattimore has really been a huge bolster to that defense, that secondary. He shut Mike Evans down to 1 catch for 6 yards before the fight. He got him so upset that he was pushing him, and Marshawn Lattimore really did his thing. And I just think that the Saints team right now is rolling. And I like the Bills Mafia. I believe in them. But this Saints team is legit, so I'm going to go with the Saints. Get the point. Saints on the road as the favorite here. Getting tired, man.
He's out there in a hike. He's in the middle of the wilderness, so we have to struggle through it. Okay, the next pick we got up here is we've got the Lions minus 12.5 at home against the Cleveland Browns. The over-under in this game, 43.5. This is a tough game, I think.
Give me the Browns. I think the Browns get it done. They win the game. It's like, give me the Browns and the points. It was at 12.5. Going down to 10.5 now. I think the Lions moving. It's a lot of points. The Browns play tough defense. The Lions always play to their opponent. They play up to a good teams, play down to the bad teams. So I think the Browns and the points here is definitely a safe pick.
Yeah, I'm with Ty. I like the Browns plus 12.5 here. This Lions team is obviously better than this Browns team, but the thing the Browns have going for them is they have a good run defense. So this Lions team is not going to be able to really run the ball on them. So I think there's going to be a lot of game managing going on. The Browns really can't trust their quarterbacks, so they're going to be running the ball a lot too against this Lions team who also has a good run defense. So what you're going to be looking at here is like a lot of passing plays and stuff. I think the Lions can win this game by 12.5, but I just think like the Browns, especially playing at home, like Ty said, they play tough. They play tougher at home and playing closer games at home. We really haven't been seeing the Browns get blown out.
Lead the way.
So I'm also going to take the Browns plus 12.5 here.
So I'll let you guys lead the way.
Yeah, the spread, as Ty was saying, has already jumped out. It's 9.5 right now. Spread jumped up because a lot of people are betting on the Lions, but now the spread's starting to equalize a little bit around like 9 or 10. So I think getting more points here, these 12.5 points might actually matter. So the Browns plus 12.5.
Yeah. Like Joe said, the Browns have a very good run defense this year, and the Lions ranked dead last. And I just think they're going to have a tough time being able to like establish it early and keep going to it like they've done this entire year. So that just makes me believe that the Lions aren't really going to be able to put up points a lot against the Browns either. So I just think 12.5. I think too much. I like the Browns. One of the underdogs is going to come, and I just have the Browns playing against the Lions team that can't really score that well. This is the one that's going to come.
So we're putting the Browns on their locks then, guys? So that's 3 for 3.
I don't know if I can do that.
You doing it?
No, not that much.
Right.
You gotta remember these. Honestly, this is one of the hardest picks to make, especially if you're taking an underdog like this plus a lot of points. Because up until the game, you don't feel really good about it because you can't because you're taking the Browns. You're taking a winless team with some points here, but I don't think it's a lock. Let's move into our next game here. We've got the Rams at home minus 12.5 against the Texans. Over under in this one is 46.5. I guess I'll start off this one. I like the Rams minus 12.5 here. I think this Rams team is extremely explosive, high-scoring offense in the NFL. No one can really stop this team. They've been putting up a lot of points on anybody. And you're looking at a Texans team here who has been struggling, especially without Deshaun Watson. Billy Thompson has stepped in, and he's made somewhat of an impact. enough to get the games close enough. Like as you guys saw last week, they lost the Colts, which is a bad loss. The run defense really isn't as good as it was at the beginning of the year. There's the pass defense. They're looking at the most high-scoring team in the league right now in the Rams. So I think the Rams roll here, especially by 12.5 at home. So I like the Rams.
Like Joe said, I'm all aboard the Rams. They just put up 51 points against the Giants. They were close. Texans have lost T.J. Watt, wasn't merciless. They lost people in that defense. And you saw like last year, the Texans aren't a good football team unless they have a very good starting quarterback underneath of them. And Deshaun Watson gave the Texans a totally different feel for them. And with Tom Savage in the game, kind of feels like Brock Osweiler 2.0 again. Like in our year, going through this, struggling, being like, we're better than this, but we keep losing because our quarterback's not that good. So that makes me believe the Rams minus 12.5. The Rams have no problem putting up points at all. So I feel very comfortable with this.
Yeah, give me the Rams here as well. I think, as everyone's saying, they put up 51 last week. They averaged like over 30 points a game. This Texans defense is good, but they can't slow them down enough. They're not going to be able to score any points. You're about useless with Tom Savage, like quarterback. And Lamar Miller, when they know that he's the only option, it's easy to key in on him and shut him down. So, yeah, Rams minus 12.5 is a good pick here.
Yeah, I think he's right. Like one more thing I'd like to add though is you have a team in the Texans who they're very one-way team. Like if they can run the ball, they're going to run the ball on you with Lamar Miller. But this Rams running defense is actually a lot better than people expected, especially with Aaron Donald leading the way. And you also have one thing that Tom Savage likes to do that I've noticed is he doesn't really, when he's in trouble, he doesn't really know what to do. He likes to throw the ball to DeAndre Hopkins. DeAndre Hopkins got 16 targets last week. That's right, 16 targets, and he only got 6 catches out of those. What that tells me is Tom Savage just loves to throw the ball to DeAndre Hopkins, loves to throw it up to him. So if I'm the Rams here, which I'm sure they're probably going to do, is they're going to shut down DeAndre Hopkins, make Will Fuller beat him. So I really, honestly, like this. I think this is the good pick here, the Rams. I think it's probably going to be a blowout. Next up, we've got the Falcons minus 2.5 at home against the Cowboys. Over and under in this one is 50.5. Before we get into this game, I'm not completely. I think this game's still up for right now, but they made the spread before the suspension came out. So the Falcons are favorites right now. They kind of assumed, but right now the game is up, so we're just gonna make our picks based on the spread.
Zeke's not playing?
No, Zeke's not playing. He's suspended. His emergency injunction was denied.
Yeah, they can. We don't know. We
think he's
might not play.
We think he's suspended,
but we really don't know. Anything could happen. To be quite honest.
So if Zeke plays, they might shut this game. They might take this game down because there's no way they want the Falcons to be 2.5-point favorites, especially if Zeke's playing. How bad this Falcons team has been playing. So, but in this one, I'm going to go under the assumption that Ezekiel Elliott is not playing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Falcons minus 2.5 here. I might regret this because I almost always do when I bet on the Falcons because I can't figure them out. But I think without Ezekiel Elliott this week, I think the Falcons can put up some points. A lot of people have been giving a lot of attention to this Cowboys pass rush and this Cowboys defense. They're playing well, but I think that's definitely like they deserve some credit. They have been playing well, but I think against a team like Atlanta who can be explosive, especially. I think that one of the keys here is that Devontae Freeman plays. Devontae Freeman plays. They have both their running backs. They've got all their offense together. I think they can win this game by 2.5, especially at home. But if Devontae Freeman doesn't play, it might be a little shaky. Honestly, though, I like the another pick that I like a lot is the under at 50.5. Normally, if everybody was healthy in this game, I'd say take the over. But we're not sure, especially with what the Cowboys are going to do with Dak without Zeke. I also like the under 50.5, but my pick in this one is the Falcons minus 2.5.
See, my gut's telling me here that Vegas wants you to take the without the Zeke line, that 2.5. So they obviously put that out for the Falcons. But the over at 50.5, that make me think, oh wow, the under looks good here. The under looks good. No Zeke. But I think they had this feeling that the Falcons are finally going to get it together on offense. The Cowboys defense is about average in every statistical category. So I think there's going to be some points scored. I think Dak can move the ball, score enough on the Falcons defense. So I'm going to take the over 50.5, even though I kind of like the under. But I think Vegas is telling you something here.
Yeah, I don't know what Vegas is telling you. It's a weird game.
So I like the Falcons minus 2.5 here, but that's with not knowing if Zeke's going to play or not. And what really is going on with that situation. Anybody knows, really. Like, take a guess. Like, I really don't know either. But the thing about this is, like, we've never seen Dak Prescott play without Ezekiel Elliott. And this is going to be the first time. This is going to be the first test for him. And this is the week that he plays without him. And there's just a lot of things with Dak that I really don't see. The coaches are coming out trying to tell him that he's playing as one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. But this year he's bottom 5 in the most passes thrown over for 20 yards this year. He's a glorified Sam Bradford. That's the best I can play, and he just wins football games because he has Ezekiel Elliott.
He's better than Sam Bradford.
I don't know about
Come
that.
on, he's got way better legs. Like, I'm not the biggest Dak Prescott fan in the world, but come on, like a glorified Sam Bradford.
Sam Bradford won and won the Heisman Trophy. Dak Prescott hasn't really done much to see. I haven't really seen much from him. So we're gonna see if Dak can actually prove it this week. If Dak is a legitimate top 5 quarterback or not. So we're gonna find out. But I like
He's not a top 5 quarterback.
that's what everybody's saying.
Better than Kirk Cousins.
He's the second best quarterback in the division, Ty.
That's not true.
Oh, come on. You're the biggest Kirk Cousins hater / lover I know, honestly. You're so week to week on him. You're just hot on him one week, and you're cold the next week. Like, you can't. Dak's put up
You never know what you're going to get.
a lot better running the ball. I think, especially with Zeke. Like,
It's a week-to-week basis.
I think Dak is better. I think Dak might actually shine here. Like, people, I don't know. I don't think he's going to be doing as bad as, I know it took the Falcons, but I don't think Dak is a glorified Sam Bradford. I think that's a little bit of an overstatement. But the
only game Dak played where Zeke did not play well, he played the Broncos, and he only threw for 200 yards, had 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. And that's all I gotta say. I don't know what Dak is able to do. That's what's making me lean towards the Falcons.
Okay, I like it too. So, I guess next game we got is the Giants -1.5 at the 49ers. The over/under in this game is 42.5.
Jerry, you know how you say good when bad teams play, they score no points or a lot of points.
Yep, that's my theory on bad teams.
That's this week. I'm going with your theory, and the team's going to score a lot of points. Both these defenses are okay, but offensively, they're going to get quick in. They're desperate for a win. I think they're going to give everything they got. I think it's a point scored. I don't know. It's going to be a crappy game. Don't watch it, but take the over.
Take the over.
Going into this game, I really was liking the Giants -1.5. Then, like on the drive here, starting feeling 49ers, getting the 1.5. But there's just something telling me that the Giants are still trying to win games, even though they really have no shot at doing anything or making a shot back into the playoffs. But for McAdoo, he needs to win this game, so that's making me believe the Giants are going to win here, getting -1.5. And the 49ers has just been awful this year. Same can be said for the Giants. Yeah, I guess I know Ty is using my theory with the bad teams, but I'm gonna actually go the other way with this one. I'm gonna take the under 42.5. These bad teams these are some of the better bad teams that we have in the league. But what I think that the Giants defense is they've been giving up a lot of points. I know they did it against the Rams with no Janoris Jenkins against the Bears.
We've only been fighting for like 10.
They gave up a lot of points. So I'm not surprised, honestly. But I think there's a lot of stuff going around right now. Like, you guys want to follow, like, especially in the media and stuff, about how some Giants players have come out anonymously and said that Ben McAdoo has apparently lost the locker room. So I guess that means that they don't really believe in him anymore. They really don't think this game. They really don't think he's doing the best things for them to win and putting them in good positions to win. So
do you blame them?
You got the 49ers, still a winless team here. You got two bad teams. I'll take it under 42.5. I can see how this game could go over, but I just think Eli is the only. I think Eli is one of the only ways this game could go over, and he's lost a lot of his big weapons. I don't really believe in Orleans Darkwa either. I don't think he's gonna have. I mean, he might have 100 yards against the 49ers in a very bad rush defense, but this feels like a stinker to me. So I'm taking the under. But if you could, I'd probably just avoid this game. I'm not really sure what's gonna happen. Last game we got up here on the Sunday game, we got the Patriots -7.5 at the Broncos. Got the over/under here at 46.5. What you guys think?
Give me the Pats. I think the Broncos look absolutely awful. They showed last week at Philadelphia that their offensive rock isn't that much better. And their defense that we thought was supposed to be their saving grace gave up 51 points, and they look pretty bad. And I don't think this Patriots team is going to keep on throwing on top of them, throwing the ball down their throats. So I like the Patriots minus 7.5 here.
Yeah, like Ty said, I like Patriots minus 7.5. Last week I went to the Eagles-Broncos game, and Eagles put an ass whooping on the Broncos. That's the easiest way I can say it. And dropping 51 points like it was absolutely nothing to them against the best defense in the NFL. And I just the Broncos, they quit on that team by halftime. They quit on their coach, and that just makes me not have any confidence in them, especially the way this offense has been going. I just think the Patriots, it might be a blowout. It might be like last week. It could get that ugly.
Yeah, personally, I'm on the Pats train here. Obviously, Pats minus 7.5. Take them. It's a good pick. I really don't know why this spread isn't bigger. It's already come out that Brock Osweiler is going to get one more chance, Vince Joseph said, against the Patriots. And I think that should be extremely scary, especially if you're a Broncos fan. You got to think here, the Patriots have been playing a lot better. They've got a very high-scoring team. Denver defense plays well, but if they're on the field the majority of the game, which they probably will be because this Denver offense looked absolutely atrocious with Brock Osweiler at quarterback, I think that the Patriots can win by 7.5 here. You got Brock Osweiler. Even though the Broncos are playing at home, they usually play better at home, play better defense at home. You got Brock Osweiler here. He's not going to be able to manage this game. He's not going to be able to beat Tom Brady. So in the end, I'm going to have to take Patriots minus 7.5. They've been playing a lot better. They've been rolling teams lately. They really started to figure it out. Just got Martellus Bennett too. Big addition. Not a lot of people are talking about it, but big addition. I think he's going to make a huge impact, especially without Gronk. Some weeks because he's kind of inconsistent with when he plays. So I think Tom Brady's offense just gotten better this week, and I don't think this Broncos team is going to be able to handle it, just like the Eagles handled them last week. So they pick here's the Patriots minus 7.5. I also like the under 46.5 too, but I don't know. I just feel like the Broncos probably aren't going to score that many points against the Patriots. So that's what I think I would go. And lastly, this week we've got on the Monday Night Football game, we've got the Panthers minus 8.5 against the Dolphins. Over under in this one, 39.5.
I don't know. This is a weird game. I don't really have much reasoning for it, but give me the Dolphins plus 8.5. I just think they'll keep it close. Carolina's been iffy. They had a good game last week against the Falcons at home. But I don't know. Something just tells me the Dolphins are going to cover. So give me the Dolphins and the points here.
Yeah, I'm going complete opposite here. Give me the Panthers minus 8.5. This Dolphins team is not good. Bad offense last week. We saw what was going to happen without Jay. And they played better than we expected. But
They covered.
They covered, but you got to think about it. Against the opponent they're playing against in the Raiders.
The Raiders can't stop it.
I mean, the Raiders, yeah, like Ty said, the Raiders really can't stop anybody. Not great on offense. They're playing a team here who actually has a good defense in the top 10 in the Panthers. So I don't really know what Jay Cutler's going to be able to do, especially against this Panthers defense on the road. So I'm going to take the Panthers minus 8.5 here. It looks like they're starting to figure out the running back situation a little bit. Christian McCaffrey started to get more and more touches and targets. It seems like it's been working, and they've been winning because of it. Even without Kelvin Benjamin, I think Devin Funchess, who's been still getting a lot of targets, even with Kelvin Benjamin still playing, I think he's going to go up. He's going to be playing even better. I think he's not going to be quite as good as Kelvin Benjamin, but I think he's still going to be able to produce and have a lot of production for this team. Besides, you got a good offense here in the Panthers who rolls with Cam Newton. So the Panthers minus 8.5. The spread I think is up to 10. So I don't know. I think getting
Yeah. So I like the Panthers minus 8.5 personally as well. The Panthers have a very, very good defense. They're able to stop the run very well, and nobody's really been able to throw them this year. So that's just making me like the Panthers. Also, the fact that Cam Newton had his best year in his career. Kelvin Benjamin. He had his MVP season when Kelvin Benjamin wasn't there, and it just seems like the offense started to start clicking last week when they started figuring out Jonathan Stewart. They stopped giving him the ball, start using McCaffrey like they should be using McCaffrey. And McCaffrey finally got 15 rushes for 66 yards. It's just not like what you want to not the best, but still figured out, got a touchdown, and he has the second most catches or third most catches in the NFL right now. So that's making me really like the Panthers. I think they figured it out. They want to think a lot faster with McCaffrey and Cam Newton. Just have them running his own option. That's gonna be hard to stop. So I like the Panthers minus 8.5, and also mentioned the Dolphins defense has been able to stop anybody this year. They gave us a lot of points. Outside of Dominican Sue, really don't got anybody.
They've been like bottom 10 defense in like points allowed this year, so they give up a lot of points, especially the Panthers team. Like Ty said, this is one of those things that where I would just take the Panthers minus 8.5. Feels like a good pick. So that concludes the rest of our games this week. We've got some picks for you guys. Hopefully we're right. Now I think we're going to go into our ARC1 locks of the week. I think so. What we're going to do is I'm going to let everybody say their lock, talk about why they like it, and we're just going to go from there. We'll move on to our next segment after that. So, Ty in Hawaii, explain to us your lock and why you like it.
My lock of the week is the Washington Redskins getting 1.5 at home. It's had a big win against Seattle. Their defense is clicking. They're probably one of the best performances we've seen all year. And, hey, they need a win. They're desperate for the win. It's pretty much their season right here. Get the 5-4, trying to stay alive in the wild card. So the Skins need this game. And you know what? I'm waking up at 8 a.m. and watching football in Hawaii. The Skins are going to win the damn game. So let's go Skins.
Ty's very confident in the Redskins, as he usually is. My lock this week is I'm going past my 7.5. I think that I don't know. I mean, everything. I mean, we just talked about this game. It's gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be a close game at all. You've got Tom Brady going against Brock Osweiler. At the end of the day, you've got a touchdown going one way or another. Which quarterback do you want? And I don't think anybody's gonna struggle telling you Tom Brady. So there's just because it feels like too many reasons, especially because the Patriots. This has been one of the better rivalries as a Patriots fan. I think over the past 5 years, especially with the playoff implications, close playoff games and stuff like that. So the series, the Broncos are probably going to play the Patriots tough, but I think this year these teams are completely lopsided. I don't think Vance Joseph's going to have an answer for Tom Brady and Josh McDaniels. So pass my 7.5. Yeah, that's my lock.
I am all about the Bears. This week,
The Bears.
The Bears.
The Bears at home with that defense playing some Packers crap only. I'm in love with the Bears this week. Honestly, I think Jordan Howard and Tariq Cohen are both going to have big games. The whole thing with the Bears, they don't pass the ball. They're letting Mitch. It's going to be Mitch's year just to figure out football, figure out how NFL's played, and so they just run the ball. They throw the ball maybe 10 times a game with Mitch. So, but it's still winning for them. And their defense just got him against his Packers. Offense did absolutely nothing last week. That's going to believe. Bears are going to win big.
Those are our locks this week. We've got the Patriots minus 7.5. We've got the Skins plus 1.5. And we've got the Bears minus 5.5. Last week, if you guys were following our locks, we got them all wrong. We're confident. We got 2 weeks of straight hitting our locks, and no one got a lock right. Honestly, like Ty took the Raiders, bad beat. I took the over in the Saints Bucks game. Jameis got hurt, bad beat. Like they couldn't really do anything after that. And I think Ty took the over in the Cowboys Chiefs game. I want to say, right?
Yeah, give me a touchdown.
Yeah, the Chiefs offense. I don't know. Andy Reid really didn't have an answer for this Cowboys defense. It seemed like they played really well. So none of us got our locks right last week. Kind of a tough week, but we're back at it this week. We got our locks. We feel good about them. We think we're going 3 for 3 this week. Take our picks. So the last thing we're going to do here is a segment we like to do. We've done the past couple weeks is we do how to pick a card. We've gone through and we did our teaser last week. I think we had I forget the bus rate, but we got the majority of the picks right, but we just got a couple picks wrong. Some of the bad games. Yeah, with hindsight.
It was the over in the Cowboys game.
Oh yeah, the over in the Cowboys game kind of screwed us over. I forget what the other team was, but this week what we're gonna do is, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar. You guys ever do these cards? You got the pink cards. We got the reverse teasers. So in these games, what you're looking at is good odds. You've got 20-1 odds for 3 teams, and you go all the way up to get 200-1 odds for 5 teams. So the whole point of this teaser is you take teams that you think are going to beat the spread on the half-point cards by more. So if we look at it here, it's usually about 7 points one way or another. So on a half-point card,
It's double the actual spread.
Double the action, like Ty said. So I'll take the Vikings-Redskins game, for example. Vikings are minus 1.5 here, but on a reverse teaser, they're minus 8.5, and the Skins, instead of plus 1.5, are minus 5.5. So as you can see, in a lot of these games, every team is minus points except for when a team is a huge favorite. So as we're looking at these cards,
it's 6 points, not double. I don't know why I said double, but it's six. It's an extra 6.5 points.
Really. So going through right now. Some picks that we like this week is we kind of like the Rams minus 20.5. It's a lot of points, but I kind of like the Rams minus 20.5 against the Texans. I think this is one of those huge spreads, but like we saw last week with the Rams have blowout ability, which we haven't really seen from them in previous years. So I think they have a chance. I think as I'm looking through this game, we also kind of like the Chargers minus 3.5 against the Jaguars. I think if this is a game that they could win, like Ty was saying earlier, I think the Jaguars team kind of inconsistent. This Chargers defense is better than people think it is, so I think they have a chance to win this game.
They have one of the best sack totals this year with Joe Bosa and Melvin Ingram that went out of their minds. Yeah, so I think the Chargers are going to cause a lot of havoc for the Jaguars. Yeah, and if they're able to stop the run,
then Leonard Fournette.
Yeah. It makes me really like the Chargers.
That's the Chargers. So we like the Chargers. Another pick that I kind of like this week is the Patriots minus 14.5 against the Broncos. There's a lot of points. You get 2 touchdowns instead of 1, but like we were saying earlier, this Broncos team, I think we've kind of started to figure them out a little bit about what their strengths and weaknesses are. This is a bad matchup for them. So I like the Patriots minus 14.5 for this.
So our 3 for the first teaser are the Chargers minus 3.5, the Rams minus 20.5. And the Patriots minus 14.
Other picks that we kind of like too. We also like the Bears minus 12.5, right? Against the Packers, I think like 5.5. So we give them 12.5. I mean, I think the only thing I'm a little scared about is this Bears team. Sometimes they can't. Their offense really doesn't put up as many points as you'd like sometimes. So we didn't really like that game. Other than that, though, I don't really know. You like anything over there? I mean, why, Ty? What do you like for the Bears?
I can't see the numbers in front of me. But just from going off the games, I think the Chargers is a good pick. I think the Bears would be solid. The Skins.
My Skins are minus 5 in the reverse. I'm assuming that.
Yeah, I like that. But yeah, I mean, it's not much. It's tough. It's always tough.
Yeah,
not having to see it, I can't really. I don't know.
And the other thing that I want to mention about these reverse teasers is because you have both teams minus points at some points. What happens is you'll have good weeks and bad weeks. So I remember there was a week like 2 or 3 weeks ago where I think every team covered. There was one team who covered on each reverse teaser for like each game, except for like 2 games that no teams covered. Because usually what happens is if you have very lopsided games, that's when you get teams covering on reverses. But if the games are close, usually you get minus 9.5 one way or minus 4.5 another way. So if you get anything around 3, no teams cover. So we're gonna hope this is a good week for the reverse teasers. We're gonna put it on a card. See what we can do. Hopefully win some money. Let you guys know.
We'll tweet it out for you guys before we put on our picks on Sunday.
Let you guys know what our reverse teaser. We'll give you some other picks too. Probably. I'm personally going to try some reverse teasers this week. I tried it last week. I think I got 2 answers right on one card, but just on another one, I had a bad pick. So the last thing we're going to go into today before we wrap up, like always, is we're going to do What's on Your Mind, where we just talk about anything usually not football related. What's going on in the sports world, our lives. Kind of filling you guys in. First thing I want to talk about, really thought I was going to come on here today and be talking about how the Sixers on a 6-game win streak. They've been playing well, all this other stuff. We went to Sacramento last night and 6.5-point favorites, and we lost by a point. Very bad game toward the end. I was extremely angry. We were up, we were winning with 20 seconds left. 5-point. Aaron Fox comes down the floor on Coco, pulls up the elbow jumper right in his face, takes the shot to go up by 1. It's a really good shot by him. Covington played good defense, but I don't know. The thing that I understand is like at least 10 seconds left after that, and we had 2 timeouts, but Brett Brown refused to call a timeout. He refused to call a timeout. Like, we only down a point. Like, we have your best point. I was playing that game at the end, so we have all in this game. I need to start seeing winning games late because if they're winning the majority of the game, they usually can close games
I
out.
don't want you guys to chop me up and carry me down.
I don't really know. I kind of missed that from Ty. I'm not sure, but
What was that?
I said I kind of missed your comment about
I didn't really make a comment.
Oh, he's just honestly, we're kind of struggling. We're at
Yeah, it's kind of hard. I'm at the top of this mountain now.
yeah. Ty's on a mountain right now. He's literally peaking right now. But,
We're peaking.
we're back here in Delaware. But I was just really frustrated with like the well coming down the floor. You put the ball in his hands for like 4 or 5 seconds. Really don't give him a chance to really win the game. Paulie Stein on him. Did a nice little double move, but he fades away. It's a tough shot, honestly. I'm not mad at him for missing the shot. But honestly, it's kind of frustrating. The teams are a very beautiful team, but also very young like us. I think it's a tough game to watch, especially last night.
Boys, I'm having trouble hearing you, and the phone is quickly dropping. But it's been a great show. We'll talk to you guys all after the show. Bet with the boys. We'll be back next week, proper time. You guys finish it out. Peace, peace.
He's got from time. Anything you want to cover today? What's on your mind? What you want to talk about?
Brett Brown. It's very frustrating being a Sixers fan sometimes, but
He's got that right.
we'll have to live with it. Moves on.
We are gonna have to live with it.
It's the way she goes.
It is the way she goes. Another thing last night is we had the Thursday night game, which was kind of interesting, honestly. It was a little bit more interesting than I thought it was going to be with the Seahawks and the Cardinals. Not a great game, though, especially for Adrian Peterson, I think. I mean, as we look here on the cards, Seahawks -5.5 covered against the Cardinals. But honestly, that was a bad game last night. Seattle really did not look that great, especially in Arizona. Like, their defense, I think they had, like, on their first 2 possessions, they punted, like, 2 straight 3-and-outs. They really were struggling to score points. A lot of field goals. Like, it was kind of a bad game last night. Seattle kind of a little bit of trouble, I think. So another hot take, though, is I made it earlier in the year. I told you guys I like the Rams to win this division against the Seahawks. It's kind of coming to fruition. So I don't know. The Rams and the Seahawks, that's a good division. I don't know. So I think that's it from us over here in Delaware. Ty and Joe here signing off. We'll see you guys next week.
Just want to let you guys know Virginia Tech is overrated. Just let my boy Chat know that.
Yeah, Virginia Tech is a little overrated, especially this year. They have been man. I don't know, man. I don't think they're going to cover this week. I kind of like who they play this week. Georgia Tech, right?
Like Georgia Tech.
Oh, Georgia Tech's covering. We got the number 1 team. Ty usually does this thing, his segment where he talks about all the teams against the spread. He got Georgia Tech best team against the spread against a ranked Virginia Tech team.
Upset alert.
Upset alert for sure. Also, who do you got? Boston College, I think, is underdogs too.
Sure. But yeah, that's the show, guys. We'll see you next
close
week.
it out.
Yeah.
Sorry, we couldn't. I'm sorry. I usually do the lines down here on the bottom, like the spreads, but I'm in kind of an awkward spot here without having 2 laptops, which is what we usually do. So didn't really get to give a chance to show you guys the spreads, but thank you guys for watching. Shout out to all the other NGSC sports shows and podcasts. Sorry we didn't get to mention before, but we will see you guys later. Bet with the boys.